I think in the previous class you might have gone through about this for loop and looping. Am I right? Different kind of loops and what has been covered till now. So we're going to learn ahead of this syllabus, like what is past statement, what is continue, break. Are you
Right.
aware about this?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. What is break and continue?
So break is like when we are inside a loop. Continue is like you will skip the remaining statements of the loop and you will again go back to the loop to check if the condition is still working or not. And break is like you will just move out of the loop, like it's just over.
Yeah, correct. So there are two keywords, that is your break and continue. Okay. So that's great that you already aware about it. But how to implement this break and continue in Python, we will going to see today. So as you said, break is used to exit out of the loop to break the flow. It is used to exit out of a loop, you can say, or terminate the flow, or you can say it exit the immediate flow, right? It is used to exit out of the loop, terminate the flow, or you can say it exit immediate flow. Immediate flow means as the certain conditions are specified or certain conditions are fulfilled, then you will immediately get exit, or you will immediately stop doing further instruction or further task. So that's why we said it exit out of immediate step, immediate loop, you can say step, you can say whatever. Next thing is continue. So in this continue, it is opposite to that of break. Here in this break, you just need to like here you will not going to be calculate that particular condition. Like means here you are going to skip this. Means suppose if you are working on suppose if condition, suppose if you are working like from, if you want to print any variable I till 10. Okay, so you will write like condition, suppose if I is equal to, or if I is greater than 10. Okay, then you will going to print it. Okay, if I is greater than 10, so you usually write like this, right? You're going to print I, right? In this way we usually write it. But what about the if means continue condition? Continue says that beside this condition, if on certain condition you want to uh, skip that particular value of I, then how you're going to implement that, how you're going to add it. So you said absolutely correct. I will going to show you how to do the implementation. For continue we use it to skip certain condition or certain value, you can say, to skip. Okay, to skip the certain value of I. So suppose if you start, suppose you initialize I is equal to 20 at the start, and you are checking if I is equal to, okay, let's take a for loop. Let's see the example. I will show you the example, but you just remember this break and continue, why we use it. Break is used to exit out of the loop. Yeah, hi Swanita, I'm audible, right? Tejas, I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So just I was explaining that break is used to exit out of the loop when certain conditions are met, when certain condition become true, and continue are used to skip the certain value of I when uh, specific conditions become true. This thing you should remember it. So this was a short description of that, and how we usually use break and continue. We will going to see this. So you might have already know about it, right? This Python org document. You might have gone through this syntax. So this is the original document of Python org, Python organization. So whenever you want to see any syntax or whenever you want to see any example, always prefer to use this. I have made few more example. Okay, I will going to show you this also. But before that, let's see from the document itself how the break and continue statement works. So here you can see this as you already aware about it, like how this break and continue, what is break and continue. So break statement is like the same as you might have experienced in other programming language. So it is used to terminate the loop or terminate the iteration. So you can see here. Do you have a have you done work with the for loop and if condition?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, what about Tejas? Have you done work with this?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So Swanita, here you joined recently this batch.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I can give you a short introduction, like what actually this for and else. It's a looping. Looping in the sense, suppose why we use this for loop and if condition and all. See, in every programming language, there is two concept like a loop and conditions. Okay, these are every programming language having these two modules. And what do you mean by this? Looping in the sense executing instruction multiple times. Okay, you can with the help of this looping, you can execute an instruction as many as time you want to execute. I will going to tell you the syntax, everything. Just wanted to give you one example. Suppose I given you one task, print the name of a student, 100 student you print it. So how you usually print it? Suppose if I say you in Python, you are going to print like this, print a, print b, and in this way you'll type it like that. Or you can say it, if you take a name like a, and suppose like this, or in this way you have to print 100 of times. So it will be a time consuming to print 100 times using this print function, right? So there is a concept called looping was introduced in programming language. That looping will help you to do the task easier. How the same thing you can do it? Same thing you can do it with the help of for loop, or you can use while loop or whatever it is. Suppose here the task was printing the name, right? And so in order to print the name 100 of time, how you usually write it? You can either take an array. Okay, array also might be not such. Okay, let's take an example of number only now, as of now, because you have started now. So let's take simple example. Print a number. Okay, you need to print 100 number. So how we write it? For I is equal to 1, 2. Suppose you take an range, or you suppose you can take here, you can see it. Let me show you with this example. Like here I have written, see, for n in a range 2 to 10. It means that I want to print the number from starting from the 2 till 10. 10 is here we use n minus 1 approach. Okay, but if the task of printing number from 1 to 100, how we'll going to do that? So in order to do that, you just need to write it like this. For I is equal to 1, or you can simply write it for I, and you want to take 1 to 100, right? So here, as you have seen the syntax, let me show you comparison wise, so you will not be get confused. For n is one variable that will going to start with this 2, and it will go till n minus 1. Whatever value you are going to pass it here, it will go until n minus 1. You can see it here, the output also. 2 to 9 is coming. Why 2 to 9? Always start from 2 only, but it will go to n minus 1. Similarly, if you want to print from 1 to 100, how you're going to print it? For I in a range 1 to 101. For I in a range 1 to 101. Why I've added 101? So that it will start from 1 and go till 100. N minus 1 approach is usually follow here. I'm adding this comment also. In Python, we add comment with hash if you aware about it. So here, the difference between the first step and this step, right? Here, you need to write this print 1, 2, 3, 100 times from 1 to 100. But what is the difference here? Within a just 2 line of code, you can do the same task. So do you understand like why this looping is important and how you can reduce your task of writing this same line 100 times? How the flow will come? For I in a range 1 to 101 means for I in a range 1, it will be initialized with 1. It will going to print I, that is the output will come like this. Output will be first 1, then the second value will be 2, and it will go till 100, 1 to n minus 1. Is it clear to you?
Yes, it's understood.
Yeah. So here, this will be like you can see this. This is just 2 line of code. You are getting the output, but here you need to write around 100 times. Print 1, print 2, print 3. But same thing you can do it with only 2 line of code for I in a range 1 to n minus 1. So here, sorry. So here, for 1, it will going to print 1. Then the value will be go become 2. It will going to print 2. Then it will become 3, and in this way it will goes on till 100. It will print. Why it will be print 100? Because n minus 1. So now suppose if I change it to 102, it will going to print till 101. So this is the reason why we use looping. And what is the use of condition? Okay, there can be different. I have just explained you for loop, but same thing you can do it with while loop. There are three kind. There are different kind of loopings are there. Okay, looping. For loop is there, while loop is there, and there's another do while. Okay, and the condition. Now we'll come to see about condition. I will give in a 5 to 10 minutes. I will complete this about condition. Then we'll see about break and continue. So here in this condition part, there are different kind of conditions are there. If okay, if else, and nested if. So it is a condition in the sense like how it works condition. Suppose I give you one scenario that if student score greater than 90, then he is passed. Otherwise, he is failed. Suppose. Okay. Suppose this is a scenario. How you're going to achieve it? In so you need to write like suppose how what is an if condition. So you will write like this: if score is what your variable. that will be going to change with this value. Suppose student score 70, 30, 40, 50, 60, anything. So if the student is having score greater than 90, then you are going to print that he is passed. Okay. Otherwise, you will going to print that he is failed. So are you getting like what actually this condition works? Means it is
Yeah.
used to do certain operation when certain conditions become true. Now suppose here, if you assign this score, or if you ask a user to enter a score value, and suppose score is suppose 95, then how it will work? The flow of the code will work here. It will check if my score is greater than 90, is really the score is greater than 90? Correct. Condition is true here, then it will going to print it that yeah, you are passed. Just like an ATM machine, you might have went to the ATM, you enter a card, and you after validation of card, you enter PIN. If your PIN is correct, they give you access. Otherwise, they give you a message that you're wrong PIN, right? So to do some conditions work where you need to check the condition and then do operation, we use this condition. So there are different kind of conditions: if else, nested if, right? So these are called condition. So this was the short brief idea about the looping and condition. Looping are used to print a statement multiple statement in a short way, just like that I've given you explanation here. And condition are used when you want to do some operation based on the condition. If the condition become true, you will do operation, otherwise you will give a message. So this is the your looping and condition. Now as I said you that today we will going to discuss about the break and continue statement. So what do you mean by that? As I have already explained, break here is used to exit the loop when certain conditions specified or when certain condition meet, and continue is used to skip that certain condition when certain to when any condition become true. Okay, for example, if here only if I say if my score is greater than 90, I will going to um, okay, let's take an example. If weight is become greater than 100, I will immediately break it. It means that if the person weight become 100, then your machine will stop working. Something like that. Means you will not be able to do further execution of the instruction. You will immediately break it. I will going to explain with example. Just think it that break is used to exit immediately when certain conditions specify. Like here, in place of print, if you add a break, then further instruction won't be executed. It will immediately break out of it. And if you add a continue there, then for that particular condition, that will going to live means that will going to skip. For example, if you check, suppose certain condition I give you, you need to check score from 35 to 100. Okay, and sorry, here I have written. And suppose if I give you condition, you need to use the continue, means you need to skip the condition when, or you need to skip score value when score will become 50. Then how you usually do that? Okay, you can do it like this. For score in range, okay, starting value is what, 35. I want to go till 100, so I will take extra 101. And how we'll use continue? If score equal to 50, then continue. And print score. So what do you mean by this here? It will going to print a score from 35 to 100, but as this condition become 50, means once the score value become 50, it will going to skip that. Means here what will be the output will come? Output will come here from 35 till 49, and it will not going to print 50 because I've used continue here. Continue means what? Continue means skip that particular value of that score value and then do the operation from that. Do you understand what I said? Is are you clear about it? Do you understand what I said?
Right. So if the score value is 50,
Hmm.
the program will print the result and then continue
Yeah,
processing.
correct.
Okay.
If the score value become 50, it will going to skip that particular score value, that 51, and it will going to continue. Means suppose 35 to 49, and next value it will going to print 50 to 100. Okay, it will only going to skip 50. Now if I say you, instead of 50 you take 49, so it will going to print 35 to 48, and then 50 to 100. It will going to skip that particular value. It is something like you went to, okay, password setting. Suppose I said for password in a range alphabet A to Z, if password character is equal to any symbol, then I will continue. So in that case, what will happen? It will not going to consider any symbol, but rest other it will going to consider. Is it clear to you?
Okay. Got it.
You can see this
Yes.
output 35 to 48, it will going to print, and then it will going to print 50 to 100. Now in case if I write break, what will be the output in case if I write break here? And let me comment this. So when I use break here, this break will going to break the loop itself. Now here, it will going to, what will be the output in case of break? Let me tell you, and then I will ask you, do you understand over? The output will be starting from 35 till 48, and this is the output of break. Now, do you understand that break means what I have explained here? Break is used to exit out of the loop immediately when certain conditions become true, or it terminate the flow or exit out of the immediate loop. So here you can see it will going to score from 35 to 101. But as this condition satisfied, when your score value become 49, it will immediately break the loop. And once it breaks the loop, it will not going to continue from that. So that's why the continue keyword is what? Continue keyword is used to start continue after this condition. It is similarly like in real life example. Uh, suppose if person get fail somewhere, if suppose if person fail in some exam, but he has a confidence that he decided to continue, then he will continue after that. But some of the people they get break once they get fail, they stop doing further study and all. So like that means continue in the sense you will going to start once again after that part. Break means you will immediately going to break it. Is it clear? do you,
Yes.
do you see the difference between here, like 35 48? So here we are continue printing that, and here we are just printing from 35 to 48. And once the 49 condition specified, I will going to break it. So this is the break and continue. Tejas, is it clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Any question? Anyone? Any concept? If anything is not clear, are you Tejas? Are you aware
It,
about this, right? Sorry. Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am.
so for continue,
Hmm.
why is the output like 35 and 48? Where are the numbers in between?
No, no. Output is in the range I said. Yeah, it will be the complete number 35, 36 to 40.
It'll be complete number.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Here
got
also
it.
it will be 35 to 48 and then 50 to 100. Uh, I need to
Just
type.
49 will be missing.
Yeah, means 49
Okay,
will be
got
missing
it.
in case of continue. As this condition become true, you will going to skip that value of score and you will start from the next value. In case of break, once it satisfy, you will break immediately from that particular value.
Got it.
So here also you can see this. Let me show you some example. Here what they are doing. Here they are using two for loop. This is called nested for loop. Uh, what do you mean by this nested for loop? When you have a loop inside another loop, that is called nested for loop. Okay, so this is okay. Let me take simple example. You can take this example. So here you can see for num in a range 2 to 10. So here obviously that here you are going to consider the value of this particular variable num from starting from the 2 till 9, because here we follow n minus 1. This is in the range. Starting value will always be start from this number, but we will going to tell n minus 1. Now you will come inside. You will going to, okay, let me explain here. Okay, so here how the loop goes, then this num variable, it is a variable whose value will be ranged from 2 to 9. Okay, now once you write this instruction, it will be tell the compiler that okay, this num variable will have a value in this range. Now you will come inside, you will do this mod operation. Do you know this mod operation? Mod operator, percent symbol.
Yes.
Okay. Tejas, are you aware about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So here, when first, let's start from 2. Okay, it will go in a sequence. So 2 mod 2. When you divide 2 by 2, you will get remainder 0, right? So this condition become true. You will come inside. You are going to print this found an even number. Current value of num is what? 2. Then you will press continue. So here, okay, 1 minute. Let me see. Okay, just 1 minute. Hmm. I will take you example. I will take means I will explain you another example also. But as this is given in the document, so take this. So as this condition will satisfy, Once this condition satisfy, you will going to print this statement. Okay, this one. So because of that, you have printed even number 2. Now, as you find this continue keyword, okay, so this continue keyword means here, this continue here is telling that you need to continue. Okay, you don't need to skip anything. Means you have to skip here, but the thing is that here you have added continue without means without this. Okay, you have added a continue. Okay, let me run this. Even number num.
It will work.
Yeah, it will work. But here the thing is that here they have just given you the continue. Means they have given an example of continue, but they are still. But this example is not like much informative. You can say like when you want to work here, it should keep some value. But here they are considering both. And they have written it because here you can see this print is somewhat with respect to this if condition, so that's why I'm looking that. Okay, just give a minute. If num, yeah, here conditions true, so they are printing it even two, and continue that once. Okay, they will, yeah. Okay. Hmm. So here you can see this, when you are going to mod it, it will become equal to 0. So this condition true. So here they will going to write found an even number and this 2, right? And after that, as they find this continue, they will going to skip this one, right? Why they will going to skip this one? Because 2 is not an odd number, and here this is not with else. Okay, this is not with else part. If I have explained you here, you can see this in paint. I have explained you here. If this condition become true, you will going to print this. Otherwise, this condition you print, right? In if else part, if this condition true, you are going to do this operation. Otherwise, you are going to do this operation, right? But here, what is the thing is, when you are going to mod it, you will going to print it. Okay, found an even number, and you will print the 2. But still the value of num is 2 now, right? So once it encounter continue keyword, it will not going to uh, add this one. Okay, means it will not going to add for that particular condition. It will not going to take this condition for 2, because 2 is odd, not an odd number. Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Tejas, is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now we will take for third. Okay. We will take for another data, that is 3. So is 3 more 2 is equal to 0? Condition will not be satisfied, right? So in that case, you will come to this part. Okay. And you will going to take this found a odd number 3. Okay. Here, based on this condition, this works, right? I told you, right? Continue works in what situation? If the particular condition satisfy, then you will run this continue, right? Here, as you can see, when this core value was becoming 49, then this continue keyword was keeping that particular value, right? Similar thing it will happen here once this condition, but here condition are not satisfying for 3, right? As you know that when you will going to mod 3 by 2, you will get 1, right? When you are going to divide 3 by 2, you will get 1. This condition is not satisfied. It means that this will, there will be no here, it will going to be no lapse here. So it will going to print this one, that print found odd number 3. This will not going to be come because this condition is not satisfied. Are you getting or what? Like, is it looking complex, this example, or shall I explain you with another example? Means, is it clear to you?
It is. This is easy. It's
Yeah.
understood.
Okay, yeah. Similarly, it will be for 4. As 4 is even number, you will going to print this. And as this condition satisfy, so you will encounter continue keyword. So you will not going to print this order number for 4. Similarly, for 5. For 5, this condition will not satisfy because 5 divided by 2 will get remainder 1. So this will not come, and it will going to take the cursor to this part, and it will going to print found an odd number 5. Similarly, it will going to work for this. Okay, for 6 is even, odd is 7, even 8, and 9, it will work like this. Okay, so this is the continue keyword, and I will going to explain you with some other example also. Don't worry about it. Let me explain you here. Okay, you can see here. Okay, I have initialized one variable dividend with value 100. Okay, and I took one list. So ma'am, for you, the list is cover or what? Are you aware about list?
Yeah. Yes.
And Tejas, you?
Yeah, I know this.
Okay. So list is nothing but a kind of data structure in Python, which is used to hold a group of data. So here in this number, okay, when you take a cursor over it, they will only going to tell you what type of that variable it is. Here you can see that it is showing list colon number. It means that this number variable is kind of list type, and it is holding a group of data. Okay. Now what you are doing here I'm doing that I'm just running the for loop. This is another way of running the for loop. It might be a question coming in your mind that I've seen a for loop in this way. What is this one, right? So the difference only this number is actually acting as a temporary variable here. Okay, and it will going to iterate based on the number of element in this particular numbers is what list, which is having 6 elements, right? So this you can take anything here. This particular temporary variable, you can take any name, whether I, N, A, B, C, D, whatever you can take it. It means that this is your temporary variable, which will going to run this loop how many times based on the number of elements present in this list. So this will going to run 6 times and initialize with element present in this list. Okay, so here once it will come inside, it will going to print the element, and this app is what it is for format. Whenever you are going to add this app, it is used to format the data in this type. I want to print the data, the element is, and and the number should be come with this, right? So that's why we use this app. This app is used to print the data in certain format. As you can see here, element is 3 is coming, element is 5. So I want that particular element that will I will going to read it in this curly braces. Okay, so here I am writing in this way, print tab, the element is in this curly brace. Now once you print it, you are going to come and check, is my number is equal to 0? If this number is equal to 0, you will going to print this line, oops, 0 cannot be divisor, and you will continue. So this continue keyword, what it will going to do, it will going to skip the value of that temporary variable number when it will become 0. Now after, like you can see here, if suppose this condition do not satisfy, then what you will going to do, you will going to divide that dividend, which is 100 here, by that particular number. So what are the numbers here? 3, 5, 7, 0, 9, 2, right? So you have to skip only for 0, because when you divide any number by 0, it will give you undefined or infinite value. So that's the reason I have made it, if my current number, that is my temporary variable number, will become equal to 0, when this number is equal to 0, then I will going to print this and I will skip this. So this continue keyword will going to skip this when this certain condition specified, means when this condition become true. And for rest of the value for 3, 5, 7, 9, 2, it will going to divide that dividend by that particular number. So you can see this, it will going to rest print in this format. Dividend divided by number, that is 100 divided by 2 is quotient colon 2f. Why we use 2f? So that it can give you result after decimal till 2 digit. So it can support two value after the decimal. You can see 33300029. So it can support 2f. Is it clear to you? Let me run this code and show you. This is the Google Colab. Google Colab is, have you done work on this Google Colab before? Are you aware about it?
Yes.
Okay. Tejas?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see this, right? The element 3, the quotient of 100 divided by 3. So you can see when the element become equal to 0, it is giving me the message, oops, 0 cannot be a divisor, and it has not done this operation for it, right? If you want to check, okay, let me check the, means change the value also. Suppose if you want to change the value, instead of 3, if you want to consider suppose 13, instead of 50,
What is that if after print statement?
this one.
No, the first one. For number in numbers,
Hmm.
then the second line. What is that blue F? What is that F?
Yeah, that this is the format, means it's used to print your data in this format. So if,
String formatting.
yeah, string format we say it. So this string format f, you can see it when I take the cursor, it is showing print, built-in function print. Inside this f is called string format, so that the data can be comes in this format, right? You can see the element is 3. So whatever the current value of this number temporary variable will be come here. Okay, so suppose,
Can we write the program without that string format? Because I think I've seen a similar program somewhere else. It did not
okay,
have any string format to it.
let me run this. So see, are you getting a value in this number?
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Is it because you embedded the number in the print statement?
uh, Embedded the number in the sense,
So the within the curly braces, you have number in it, right? If you
yeah,
just had a plain statement with no
yeah,
curly braces,
okay,
then we would not have required if. Is that so?
yeah. Suppose if you write a print number, then you won't need it. You won't need it when you just print the number. But this is a string function. When you want to use the integer value, when you want to use a number with the string format, then you need this. This f is nothing but the string function or string format, we say it, string format. So here within this single quote, when you want to print the number also with this single quote, with this particular message, in this is in a string format, right? In a single quote, whatever you use it, it is in string. So if you want to use this value of this particular variable, then we use this string format. But if you normally use this variable only, then you don't need it.